This is going to be a brief video review comparing two umbrellas that are touted for their strength in rain, wind, as walking sticks and for the purposes of self-defense. We have two of them here side by side. On the left, the one that goes this way with the red tag, this is the Indestructible umbrella. The one here on the right, this is the Unbreakable umbrella. So let me grab them and give you some close-up views. I'm going to start with the Unbreakable umbrella. This is the original Unbreakable umbrella. They call this the standard model U115 with the crooked handle. So the handle is really the selling point for me on this particular umbrella. I think the design is pretty clever. It's ergonomically designed. I have pretty big, admittedly pretty big hands for a female. For me, this was pretty large, although it makes good sense when you consider it lends itself to being a better point of balance and better leverage as a walking stick. But the other thing it does is it really allows you to be hands-free if needed. So say you're walking in a store, you need to hook this on your forearm. Even my husband, who's a fairly large man, can hook this on his forearm. It's also big enough to where you could sit it on your shoulder if you need hands-free. This one comes with a removable cover case that's open on the end so your water can drip out. I'm going to slide it off here really quickly. So both models are pretty similar, going all the way down to the tips. My written review will go into the materials that go into this product, but I want to give you a little bit of a close-up view of the button here. The button is pretty well designed. I like that it blends in well, pretty easy to handle and maneuver. Very responsive, opens with pretty good speed. And the other thing I'll show you that's different between the two of them is the tip. So this tip is a little bit wider, girthier, and more well-rounded, which I think really makes sense as a walking stick. Even if you did want to use it as a point of force in self-defense, I think it would still get the same point across. I'm going to go ahead and switch umbrellas and show you some of the comparative points of the Indestructible umbrella. So the Indestructible umbrella we have here, let me show you the tags, you know what the label and logo looks like. The Indestructible umbrella, similar, has a crooked handle as well. This one is more standard, typical in size, just like every other rounded umbrella, has the same velvety feel on top of the hard resin. The button here does stand out. It's square, similar in responsiveness. I do feel like the Unbreakable umbrella is a little bit more responsive, but this one opens with similar speed and is equally responsive. The other one, though, does have a slightly better feel, but it's really negligible in terms of selling points in the umbrella. Look at these side tips, again, very similar. Also has a case that opens up, slides off the end. I'll go ahead and slide it off here. So I'm going to flip it around and show you the tip of this one, which is the other noticeable difference. This one is pointier tipped. I think it'll maybe be a little bit more intimidating in self-defense, although who's going to really stop and look at the tip of your umbrella? I think they both serve the same purpose for the reason of self-defense, but for walking, I actually think the Unbreakable, which is the other umbrella, the rounded tip really lends itself better for walking, and it's not going to be viewed as likely in an airport as a potential weapon, although my understanding is both of these are approved for travel and use in airports. So while these two umbrellas are really similar, I have a slight preference for the Unbreakable umbrella, which I'll break down in my review. Both of them, though, and I'll include some photos, were able to hold my weight as I stood on them and did the quote-unquote chair test. So both good umbrellas, slight preference for the Unbreakable umbrella, but they're both really well made, really solid. And again, the primary differentiator for me, aside from the tip for stability and walking, was this handle. I hope this video review has helped.